What do I have to do to get a drink around here? Where's the barman? Hi, I'm in the bar of my settlement, and I'm here to talk about the demon drink and to warn against it. Well, maybe not warn against it, but to give you some idea of one of the things I've noticed that can happen in a settlement. Let me show you my settlement. I've had this for quite a while now, as many of us have. And where's the door? Hang on. Around here. In my settlement, my status is an A, and I've not seen since an update quite a while back anybody managing to increase their stats to an S. When the stats get to 200 citizens, 100% happiness, and productivity a million, we still tend to see the settlement graded as an A. Now, I think that's a bug. I don't think that you're supposed to reduce the Sentinel alert level to 0 and keep it there. I don't see how that's possible. Maybe it is. Maybe if you just keep doing or gaining those settlement percentage decreases that you get by building turrets that we never see. You can, of course, decrease the maintenance, and that can go down to 0. So I can imagine that being part of it. But still, nobody seems to have got it to S by upgrading. I think there might be some out there that are S naturally, but I've never seen one of those. A thing you'll notice about my settlement is the productivity, 979,399. No matter what I do, I can't increase my productivity now. This is a capped stat. It will never go above that. It sometimes goes lower, but it never goes higher. That's the maximum for my settlement. And I was playing with the save editor to try and work out why that is, and I found out it was this here and this here. Virtual drinks pumps improve citizen happiness and improve citizen happiness through AI drinks pumps. So these drinks pumps, which are presumably somewhere in my bar, and let's face it, they would have to be AI driven because I never see a barman, they seem to be capping my productivity. When I remove these settlement features, which I can do by swapping them out in my save file with another save, so for instance I changed these virtual drinks pumps to blessed by the earth, and these AI driven drinks pumps by blessed by the moon, which I had in another save file, and my productivity went up to 1 million. So these are capping, and it doesn't specifically say this anywhere on any wiki or any other information I've ever seen. Now, it may mention that they can improve happiness but decrease productivity, but most of these features only temporarily reduce productivity. They don't cap it permanently, whereas these specifically cap it. And so, I mean, it's not a major warning. I'm sure that this isn't going to be stopping my settlement ever getting to S class if they ever patch it, or if there is a way of doing so. But I'm warning that early on, when you're first making decisions about your settlement, choosing to focus on citizen happiness and giving them all the stuff they want for drinks can actually cap your productivity. And so it may be worth not doing that. While we're here, I just thought I'd have a quick look around my settlement because, well, you know, it's more than a 2-minute video. This is, as you saw, an A-class settlement. It's in a GEC area, hence the wood. It's on a very nice planet. It's not a paradise planet. This is the same planet that I was showing you on my bonkers boltcaster. And I think it's a very nice location. I love the trees on this particular planet, these split trees, which is also why I have my Diplo research station on this planet. Yes, because there are Diplos, but also because the trees are so cool. So a tree-lined walkway was a good way of making use of this space. I also built a overseer's base, and I thought I'd look at that now because I haven't really featured it anywhere. My Overseer's base is just a very small build that I built when Frontiers came out to play with the new parts and to see what they could do. And we've actually had a few improvements to the way the base parts go together now. So it probably would be easier to build than it was, because we were limited then by the contextual building system. But I built a sloped roof system, and I put a landing pad on the roof. I made a nice little veranda overlooking my settlement because I think it looks nice. Watching the Diplos roam majestically across the plains as I oversee my base. If it wasn't stormy at the moment, it would look even nicer. And then I resized some of these dividers to give us some space for hiding away some greenery. Made a little kitchen stroke bar area. Very simple, there's nothing special there. I slowly built up some foliage in this pot. Made a little space for storage. And I built this gas fire, which I think looks really quite nice. These are just the basic aluminium parts, but then with a few things added to them to make it look like a working fire, and make it look like there's an extractor flue here and a shelf, which again is one of these, I think, something like that. And on the outside, because this is the warm area, I put a few plants and this little steaming device, and just made it look like I was taking advantage of the flue to grow some plants. I nicked an idea of a sliding door. I think Action Pants Gaming had a sliding door on one of his early builds with Frontiers, so I probably did it differently because I use light boxes a lot. I think I use a half light box budge, but I nicked that idea because I really like it. Just a simple dining area, nothing special. A little computer. It's very difficult to approximate a computer, and my attempt here was to make this look like a keyboard of some kind, maybe a futuristic keyboard, and maybe it looked like you were playing a game on it, but that's not particularly successful. I've seen better ways of doing that since, but I haven't come back to this build since then. I made a little cot bed area, which probably would better fit a GEC than my model, but it's basically just a slightly raised area with these bundles around it. And I gave myself a little teleporter because I thought a big teleporter would distract a bit, so I resized the teleporter and put it on here. And that's basically it, apart from the overall look of it, which we can see now it's stopped raining. So let's go outside and maybe switch into camera view. And the overall look I was going for is kind of an Art Deco feel. So I used these roof parts to kind of edge around, and use this roof part here to give it an entrance. And it's got narrow walkways around the back, at least on that side. On the other side, I've actually blocked it off deliberately. And I have a newer style landing pad on top, which was frustrating to begin with because the ship would never spawn there, but now it does. And then hidden underneath, I put this little generator unit, which one, makes it look like there's a generator, but two, has the knock-on effect of producing more smoke and fumes coming out of the gas fire. And piled a few things up here so it looked like it was actually a used space rather than just something to create some gas. And then somewhere deep in here, underneath the construction, I hid my electricity because I didn't want that visible. So they're kind of tagged to the walls sideways out the way so they don't pop through the floor. Back then, the trickier part was making this wall, which took forever, and now probably wouldn't be quite as bad. This is slightly longer than 2 half walls, this diagonal section here, and the rest of the parts all had to kind of be the correct parts based on the contextual build, which we can now just choose. And this side, all of my choices were made based on the contextual build and replicating those 2 half walls merged together in that sloped part. Overall, I really quite like the look of this little build, and I sometimes at the end of a busy exploring session, I'll just return here and sit down at the fireplace, because it kind of gives me a bookend to the day. I was like, sit down, log off, and then I log on and I'm back at this place and I'm starting again. Has the convenience that I'm near my settlement, so I can check in there. And other than that, it's just a build that I quite enjoyed making, and I think looks quite nice. I think it highlights the wooden parts and how they can be used and mixed with stone in more structural ways. So we have a stone foundation underneath and the floor and all around, and then wood built on top, and then right up above we have the aluminium just as a kind of roof structure. So that's a very quick, not quite micro build, but quite a mini build, and my settlement, which I'm quite proud of. Unfortunately, you can't visit this particular build without letting me know you want to, because at the moment my Diplo research station is also on the same planet, and that's the uploaded base on this planet, because more people are interested in the way that I did the rope bridges. But if anybody ever wants to look at this, then they're welcome. I can just upload this instead for a while. But I think you can see most of what it offers just by my quick tour. So there you go, the demon drink and a quick base tour and a look at my settlement on this lovely green planet that occasionally has not particularly bad storms. I've been Pharaoh, and goodbye for now. Cheerio.